Are you nice or just incapable of being mean? I really genuinely ask yourself this question. I had to ask this question. I had a moment of reckoning. I think we all do, naturally. Um, and once, this is a funny thing, once you get used to saying no, once you get comfortable with saying no, it's pretty amazing, pretty exhilarating, the power of being able to do that. But anyhow, so I uh I had a moment where I realized like there was definitely some drawbacks to being a nice person, because the reality is people will pillage you for your resources, for your kindness, for your energy, any of that stuff, sorry. They will do that. They will take full advantage of this. So I remember one time, um, a buddy calls me, and he was my former neighbor. He calls me and he says, "Hey, can you come pick me up at, said destination? And I need you to take me somewhere else to go pick up my vehicle." And I was like, "Sure." Early Saturday morning, I go, I pick him up, I take him to a spot to go pick up his car. Um, and it's funny because it's like I'm driving like a beat up Corolla used vehicle, and I'm dropping him off at this humongous truck V8 with like vertical doors, and it's like super fancy. And then I realized after I drop him off, I'm like, damn, buddy didn't even offer to give me any gas money, right? So it's like, and I get it, we're supposed to be doing favors for the sake of doing favors and not expecting anything in return. But I mean, it's like, buddy, like, I mean, this is crazy. This is a big favor, you're asking for a lot. And whatever, I was pretty upset about it because I thought that was pretty shady, very unappreciative on his part. And I was pretty pissed off about the whole thing. So after that, I go to fill up gas with gas money I don't have, right? I mean, at this point, I'm an Uber driver, so it's like I don't really have money like that at that time. I'm pretty strapped. I'm pretty tight. And then so I guess because I was so upset, I was in my head. I get out of the car and then I realized, when I go ask, put money in the pump, I realized like I had left my keys in the car locked. So I was like, oh damn. So I try to see if there's a way I can do it. I can't do it. I can't get the car. I can't get the keys out. So I call, a tow truck, charges me like $50. So not only did I go over there and get nothing in return for that ride, I also, had to pay, right? So that was a real hard lesson for me, because I was like, okay, so this is what happens when you sacrifice yourself for someone else. Is not only will you not get anything in return, but you'll actually get punished for your kindness, unfortunately, right? For helping the wrong people, essentially, helping the wrong person in this case. And so it was a real hard lesson because I never forgot. And that was the fork in the road moment. That was the moment that I realized there is no going back in terms of you need to be very careful about who you're being nice to. And I don't wish anyone wrong, but this is the lesson here, right? Is that this guy, I didn't realize at the time, because like I said, he was my former neighbor, so we were in touch, but we didn't see each other that often. He lives kind of far away. I ended up finding out from another buddy that still was friends with him that, I mean, dude was doing drugs, so that it kind of explains his shady behavior. He's just trying to screw everybody over, he's a little cokehead. And I ended up finding out that his parents find out he does drugs, and then he ends up getting kicked out, ends up renting a room in one of the worst counties in California, mattress on the ground. I mean, the whole thing, like just grimy, crappy existence, right? By his own volition. I mean, the guy, was from a good family, did not have to go that route at all. Some people just self-sabotage. And so I didn't have to wish any misfortune on anyone. I mean, he ended up in the situation he ended up in. And so it goes to show you, I didn't have to, hope that something bad will happen to the guy. He ended up in a bad situation without me wishing anything for him. But it did teach me the utility of being able to say no. Because after that, I realized like I wasn't going to sacrifice myself for someone else. If I didn't feel comfortable doing something, I was very comfortable just saying no, not this time. I'm okay. I'll pass. And so you have to be able to learn that. And if you don't have one of those moments that triggers that for you, you might be destined to continue to say yes because you people please. You're scared of letting people down, things of that nature. And you have to really take an honest assessment and ask yourself, would these people still be around if I wasn't the one saying yes to everything? If I wasn't a yes man, if I wasn't so nice, would I still have these people around? Because the reality was, after that favor, I learned, I cut the guy off. I was like, I don't need to be around this cokehead that's over here just asking for crazy favors and then doesn't appreciate anything. I don't need to be around these kind of people. And I was proven right, because I mean, the guy ended up going down a bad path, that I would never want to associate with someone like that anyhow. So it was really easy to kind of let someone like that go. And I figured, okay, maybe the $50 for the tow truck was worth, that was the price to pay to get rid of people like that, you know. And so it's just a lesson, right? If you're a nice guy, really take honest appraisal and say, am I being nice because this is just who I am, or I'm just incapable of mean? I'm scared to say no. I'm scared of the pushback or the response if, I say something to someone and, they do that. And so I'm not saying don't be nice, but just be very careful about who you're nice to, because unfortunately people will take advantage of that. I was taught to be a nice person, to take care of people. The problem with that, though, is we're living in a different world, right? Where those things don't necessarily, you just don't know who you're doing this for. So you have to be very careful to not get taken advantage of, unfortunately. That's just the world we're in. That's just the nature of things. Unfortunately, the order of things as they are. I wish it wasn't so. I wish it wasn't the case. I wish I could say I still had a friend that wasn't a cokehead, that didn't sleep on a mattress on the ground in one of the worst counties in California. But hey, it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about that, right? I try to steer people in the right direction, but at the same time, it is what it is. If they want to destroy their lives and have vices and ruin everything for themselves, you got to let them do it. I mean, you can't really stop them. But like I said, take honest stock about what it is that you're being nice about. Are you just scared to upset people or let them down? And really think about that and see what it is that you're doing. Because I'll be honest with you, I felt very liberated after learning how to say no to things that I wasn't comfortable doing. I was no longer afraid to put my little foot down and exercise my power as a human being, right? As a man, to be able to say, absolutely not, I'm not comfortable with this. There's such a liberating aspect to being able to, mark your territory, put the line in the sand, if you will. But anyways, I hope this helps, and I'll see you in the next one.